Hey everybody, thanks for tuning in. Today we're going to be playing Tiny Epic Mechs SOLO. So in a solo game, you set it up as a 3-player board, and you're going to start up top here, and you're going to be facing 2 robot pilots, and that's down here in the bottom corners. So you'll see that they actually start in their power armors, and they start with 2 weapons. So one of them starts with a pulse pistol and a sword, and the other one starts with the grenade launcher and the pulse pistol. So you'll be tracking all of the information, the resources, and the health for the robot pilots using the kind of the dashboard resource card. So I pulled one out for each of them, and then I've just got their health marker at the 9 spot, which is what health you'd have in a power armor, and then their resources start in the same place as normal. And I've got that for each of the robots. And then I've shuffled their action cards, and I've just set them next to their resource cards, and so when they take actions, they're just essentially drawing off the top of that deck. It doesn't matter what direction the card shows, so you don't have to worry about kind of how you flip it, but you'll refer to a reference sheet, and that'll tell you kind of how to determine what direction they're moving, as well as what additional actions they may be taking. So here's the reference sheet. You're welcome to pause it and take a closer look at that. But I'll be using that to kind of guide the AI for the robots. For myself, I've already set my 4 actions up. Obviously, I don't have to hide them in solo play. And then like scoring and all that, that essentially just works the exact same. So I'm facing both of the robot pilots, and they're kind of on a team. So they're actually, if they're not going to fight each other, they would avoid entering a space in which would result in combat with each other. And if they drop turrets or mines, then they can move through those spaces, and it's not going to explode the mine. They're not going to take damage from those items. So they're pretty much just totally focused on beating me up. All right, so with that said, just go ahead and get started, and then we'll just kind of see how it plays through, and I can kind of talk through the actions that they're taking as it unfolds. So to begin, I'm moving down, and I'm going to deploy a turret. So I'm going to spend 3 energy. I'm going to drop a turret in this 3 valued space. Okay, and then you'll just start left to right, and that's how the actions will go, and we'll go through all of that until 4 actions have been taken. So we'll start here with the orange player. All right, so he's going to be doing a collect action. So when a collect action comes up, they'll just simply move forward. So the direction that they're facing is important. When they're in their power armor, you'll see that there's a little jetpack on the back of their suit. So that's their back. So you want them facing forward at the start of the game. And then they also rotate during play depending on different things that they do. So this guy is going to move forward, and he's going to perform a collect. Well, I got to give him a random starting mine in both of their spaces. And those are just flipped over, so I don't know what values those are. But he moves forward, and he's going to collect 2 credits. So give him 2 credits and 1 energy. Okay, and then we'll move on to the next robot pilot, who is going to deploy a turret. So for deploying a turret, they want to move toward the highest valued zone that's next to them. And in this case, it's going to be the 3 that's right above them. So he's going to advance forward, and he's going to spend all of his, it's this one over here, he's going to spend all of his energy, and he's going to drop a turret over here. Okay, and then I've set mine up to where it's just left to right and then left to right, because I don't really have a lot of space for a full line right here. So I'm going to move over, and I'm going to spend 1 credit, and I'm going to drop a mine. Obviously, just like my action cards, I don't have to hide these mine values. So I think that this guy may be coming up in this area pretty soon, so I'm going to drop a 4 value mine. Okay, and then we'll take the next action for orange. So he's doing a purchase. So in this instance, he's going to want to move toward the lowest valued space, and they don't move backward. Now there may be certain special conditions in which they move backward, but generally speaking, they want to check the left and the right. If those are kind of tied values, then they'll move forward, unless they do a collect, and that's always just move forward. But in the case of a purchase, they're going to want to move toward the lowest value in which case there's no left option, so he'll just move over here anyway, and then he's going to make a purchase if he can afford it. And they all, they'll look left to right on the advanced weapons. I've set them up top to bottom, so we'll just go top to bottom, and he's going to buy whatever weapon he can afford starting at the top, which he can't quite afford the rocket battery, but he can afford the Warhammer, so he's going to buy the Warhammer, and we'll get that equipped on him, and then this card can just kind of sit off to the side. You don't have to worry about putting them on him, because when they attack, you'll essentially shuffle the cards and draw off the top of those weapon cards, and they'll use the weapons in that order. So we'll just refill that empty spot there, and that was his purchase. So now we'll go to the second action. And this one, we have a power up. So for power up, they're going to move to their lowest value, but again, they're just looking left or right. So he's going to move over here to the left, and since he's already at full health, then there's no full health there, but since he's not damaged, he'll perform a basic collect action. That's kind of the alternative, since his power up didn't get him anything. So in this case, he's going to pick up 2 energy and 2 credits. So we're going to move him up to 5 credits and 2 energy total. Okay, and then I'm going to take my third action, which is also going to result in a really bad combat for me, considering I'm completely under-equipped here. And it's a collect, and I don't get to take the collect because I'm starting a fight, but I do get a victory point. Now I'm holding the pulse pistol, so being that that's going to be the first weapon I attack with, I can automatically deal 2 damage. So I'll gain 2 hit point or 2 VP, and I'll reduce 2 hit points off of the orange player, and my weapon is used up, and then he's going to attack. And they always so we've got a pulse pistol, a sword, and a Warhammer. So what we'll do is we'll take all 3 of those weapons. We'll kind of shuffle them under the table so I don't see which one's going to come up, and he's going to attack first with his pulse pistol, which, like mine, will result in 2 damage to me and 2 victory points for him. And then I would attack, but I don't have a weapon to do so with, so I'm going to retreat, which will give him another point. And then I'm going to retreat. Let's see, he moved that way, so he's face. You always want to face him the direction that he moves. So, but I'm going to move behind him, just because I know that he's not going to want to turn around for the most part, and so I'm just going to kind of secure myself by moving behind him. And then I do enter ad hoc mode, so my fourth action, I can kind of take whatever action I want. So, all right, now we're going to take orange player's third action, which is a jump. So this is going to be the move forward 2 spaces. So with him, he's going to kind of search for me, and if I'm at a spot where he can jump 2 spaces, then he's going to try to jump and land on me. Now I'm behind him, and he's generally not checking that area, but I'm only 1 space behind him, so he's going to end up standing still, and there's not going to be any fight, and in that case, there's also no collect or anything. So this just kind of is a relief opportunity for me. And then Gray's next action is going to be a purchase. So he moved this way, so he's looking left and right for the lowest valued space, which is this 1. So he'll move up there, and I'll turn that direction, and he's going to make a purchase, and he can afford that rocket battery, so that's what he's going to buy. That's going to cost him, actually no, he can't, that's 5 energy, but he can afford the first thing he can afford is actually the EMP mace, and he'll spend 3 on that. So he'll pick that weapon up. We'll get another weapon that fills that spot, and then I also just need to give him his grenade launcher and pulse pistol, and then he's going to get that EMP mace, so we'll throw that on his shoulder. Okay. And then for my fourth action, I'm going to move up and perform a collect. So I'm going to pick up 2 credits and 3 energy. So I'll go to 4 credits, 3 energy total. And then we'll do the fourth action for orange, which is power up. So he's going to move toward the lowest value. If they're tied, which in this case the left and the right are tied, they're both values of 1, then they move forward. And the power up is going to heal to full hit points, but which is convenient considering he's moving into the mech. But for the robot pilots, it doesn't quite work that way. It doesn't matter what their health is. If they move into a space with the mech, then they get into that mech regardless of their health. But so he's going to be at full health anyway, and I'll just leave that up there. And he's going to jump in to this mech here. So that does mean he'll lose his basic weapons, his sword and his pistol, but he does still have the warhammer, so that'll go on to the mech. And now the mech also has the rocket packs, so you can also tell what direction the mech is standing, because the rocket packs are going to be the back of the mech. And then I'm just going to move his health up onto this mech card, because he starts with 11 health, and he's at full either way just from entering that suit. Okay, and then the gray player's fourth action is deploy mine. So whenever deploying a mine or deploying a turret, you want to try to find the highest valued space to your left or your right, which in this case, he's going to move left, and he's going to trigger my turret, and he's going to take 3 damage from that. And then he's going to pay to drop his own, but he can't afford it because he only has 2 energy. So in this case, he's just going to perform a collect action, which will gain him 3 energy and 1 credit. And then that's the end of the first round. So we'll move into second round. Oh yeah, I got to pay Red his 2 victory points for jumping in the mech suit. Okay, so that's the end of the first round. So I'll collect up all 8 action cards for both robot pilots, shuffle those, and then this will create the new set of actions that they'll take. So I've got that shuffled. We'll go shuffle these ones up. And then of course mine, I'm not an ad hoc anymore, and I can just take mine back down and build my turn how I want it as well. Okay, so Red is in the lead with victory points and in the mech suit. Green or gray player, this is still a prototype, so I do have a little bit of mixed colors for components and whatnot, but he doesn't have any victory points. So, all right, but this is a scoring round, so we'll see how that changes. But I do want to be aware of trying to get myself as many points during this round as I can. I have decent resources for doing that, so I'm not too concerned. So I'm going to start off. I'm going to move down to drop a turret. Actually, I'm going to do it this way. I'm going to move down, drop a turret, move back up, drop a mine first, drop a turret second, and then that will leave me with just 2 credits and no energy, which really isn't much to buy anything, but I can buy the sword with that. I may want to, just to prepare a little bit better for fights. Yeah, I think I'll do that. So I'll move to the right to make a purchase, and then I'm going to move up and collect. So that's what I'm hoping I'll be able to achieve. Okay, so first player token moves from me. Now it's going to be orange that starts us off. Okay, so orange is taking a collect action, which means orange wants to move forward and collect. So it's going to move that way. And for collecting, they're going to pick up 2 credits, 1 energy. So 2 credits, 1 energy. Okay. And then we'll go to gray, who is facing forward and wants to do a jump, and that's perfect for hitting me, which is not perfect for me, but it's great for him. So he's going to jump over my mine and engage in combat with me right here. And so he's going to get a point for starting the fight, and then he's going to attack first. So I'm going to take his 3 weapons, shuffle them up under the table so I don't see which one I'm going to be drawing first. And he's going to hit me with the grenade launcher. So that's just the starting weapon for him. So he's going to do 1 damage to me, putting me down to 3 hit points, gaining him 1 VP. And I'm going to attack. It's my first weapon of the fight, so I'm going to be doing 2 damage back to him. So it's going to take him down to 4 hit points. He's weakened from earlier from hitting my turret, so that's nice. And I pick up 2 points for that. And then he will make an attack. So I fought with a ranged weapon. So if he draws an area, it's a counter, but I don't think he has another area. But he hits me with the pulse pistol, which is only going to do 1 damage to me, so that's nice. He'll gain 1 point for that. And then I have to retreat, which will gain him another point, and it'll put me in ad hoc, which is fine. I think I can still do all the things I want to do. And then my weapon resets, and I have to retreat. I already paid him the VP for that, so I'm going to retreat over here. Or I could retreat back up in that direction. I'm going to retreat back toward my mine, hoping that if he comes at me again, he'll explode. Okay, so it's my first action. So I'm just going to tilt that. I'm just going to move over this way and deploy a turret, actually. So I want to take these away. I'm going to do this as my first action and deploy a turret. So I'm going to spend 3, drop a turret here, hoping that it stays for scoring. Okay, second action for Orange is to collect. So Orange will move forward, which he can, and he will not take damage from the turret that's there because, again, they're on a team. And then he's going to do a collect action. So that's going to be 2 energy and 1 credit. So he's getting pretty maxed out on his resources over there. And then for Gray, they're going to be doing a collect action as well. Okay, so they would normally want to move forward, but forward just hits them up against a wall. So in that case, they still will do their collect, but they're going to move. They're going to, let me just confirm. If it cannot move forward, then it moves backward. So he's going to move back into this space. He's going to turn around, and he's actually going to blow up my mine, which was what I was hoping for. So that's really great. And then that's going to do 5 damage to him, and it's going to knock him out completely, which will give me 1 VP, so I'll take that. Now, they don't ever leave their power suit. They go back to their starting space, and they don't have to worry about ad hoc because their actions are just being played off the top. But he'll still perform that collect action before he takes the damage, which would be, for him, it would be 3 energy and 1 credit. So 3 energy and 1 credit. And then he's back at his starting spot. I got my VP, knocked him out. Okay, and then now it's my action. So for my second action, I'm going to move down, and I'm going to deploy a mine in the Mighty Mech space. Since there's not a mech there, I can do that. I'm going to pay 3, and I'm going to drop 4 right here, just so that it can do maximum damage when somebody comes in. Okay, so taking third action for Orange, which is deploy turret. So Orange wants to look for the left or the right that has the highest value, which is going to be down into the other robot's space, and they're going to deploy a turret. So they're going to share that space and have just even more nastiness if I ever make the foolish decision to get all the way over there. So for the turret, that's going to be 2, so he'll drop, that's wrong. So he'll drop 2 energy from 7 to 5, and a turret will be placed here. Okay, and then we'll go with Gray, who's going to do a purchase, which is he wants the lowest valued spot. He's facing forward here, which means he's just going to move over here and make a purchase. So for Gray, he can pretty much afford anything, but he still can't afford that rocket battery. But he can afford the railgun, so that'll cost 2 credits, 3 energy. We'll pick up the railgun. That'll get replaced with a new weapon. And then for the railgun piece, let me just find that. That'll go up on his shoulder. Okay, now he's got a 4th weapon in the mix. Okay, so now I'm going to take my 3rd action. So I don't have any resources anymore, not enough to buy like I was kind of originally hoping to do. So I'm just going to move over here and take a collect. So for me, that's going to result in 1, 2, 3, 4 energy, which is really nice, and 2 credits. Okay, we'll take the last action now for orange, which is going to be a diagonal jump. But since I'm not in any diagonal direction from orange, that move results in nothing happening. So for gray, same thing. Gray wants to take a diagonal jump at me, but I'm not in the range of that, so that is that, and nothing happens there. Okay, so now that's the, now I still got one more action in which I want to, now I could do a purchase. Which would be nice. Being in ad hoc mode, let's see, so I haven't done my purchase yet. So I'm going to move up, and I feel like I'm kind of far away from them, so I'm actually just going to do another collect. I'll save my purchase for the next round. I'm just going to take another collect action and just try and get a bunch of resources right now. So actually, so I'm going to move down because I have fewer credits. So this is going to pick me up 3 credits, so up to 6, and 1, 2, 3 energy, so up to 7. And then that's the end of round 2, so we'll go ahead and score points for everybody. Green's going to get 6 points for that turret, so 10, and then 2 points for the mine, so 12. 2 points for the spot that he's in. Okay, red's going to pick up 2 points for this mine, 4 points for the turret over there, and 3 points because red is still in the mech suit, and 2 points for the spot that he's standing in. Okay, and then I'm going to collect 6 points for this turret, 3 points for that mine, 2 points for that mine, and 1 point for the spot I'm standing in. Okay, so I took the lead in victory points for now, and we are moving on to round 3. Okay, so I'll take my cards back. We'll take these guys back. We'll shuffle them up. Okay, they're ready to rock and roll. Shuffle here. First player token is going to move to gray, so he's going to start us on this 3rd round. We're ready to rock and roll. So gray's first action, well, before I determine their actions, let me go ahead and pick my actions. Okay, so I'm going to definitely do some purchasing, definitely do some powering up, so that's what I want to do. I'm going to start with a power up, so I'm going to move up and power up, and I'm going to then move left and purchase, and then I'm going to move up and collect, and right and collect. Okay, so start us off here. So gray wants to do a double jump, and he can reach me. Dang it. So he's going to turn and double jump toward me. He'll get a victory point for starting the battle. And then let's see what he hits me with first. And I have no health. I mean, I'd have to be really, really lucky for him to not just totally wipe me out right now, which I have a feeling is going to happen. And let's see. Yes, oh yeah. Hits me with the railgun. That does 3 damage. I take 2 of that 3 damage, so he's only going to gain 2 points for that. But then he does gain a 3rd point for having knocked me out. Okay, so I'm going to start back in my starting spot. And I'm in ad hoc mode. So I'll take these away. That's quite the fortuitous jump for him. And then it's my turn. So I will still essentially do what I was wanting to do. I'm just going to do it a little bit differently. I'm going to move over and power up. So I'll spend 5 credits and I'll jump in my mech suit, or my power suit, and then it will be Orange's turn. Okay, so Orange, it's wanting to do a diagonal jump, which again, it can't reach me, so wasted turn for Orange. Okay, so now for Gray, it wants to do a collect, which means it's going to move forward, which is into here. It does not take damage again from its opponent's mine, or its teammate's mine, but it does collect, so it's going to collect 2 credits, 2 energies, plus a 3rd credit. So 2 credits total, up to 4, and 3 energy, up to 8. Okay. Alright, so for my second action, I'm going to move down and I'm going to make a purchase. I'm going to buy that rocket battery for 5 energy. And hopefully I can get my revenge on these guys. So I'll pick that up. A new one comes out. And I'm in my suit now, so full health. I got a couple of sweet weapons there. Okay, so now we are on to Orange's second action, and they want to deploy a mine. So they're going to move this way, and they're going to drop a mine for 3. And he's got that, so he'll pay down to that. And then I'll just grab a random mine. I don't know the value of it, and I'll drop it there. Okay, so now Gray is going to do a diagonal jump, can't reach me, wasted action. For me, I'm going to move over here and collect, so that's going to be 3 credits and 3 energy for me, so I'll go up to 4 and 5 respectively. And now we're on to Gray's last action of the round, which is a collect. So Gray would want to move forward but can't, so therefore he'll move backward and turn around and then do a collect. So for Gray, that's going to be 2 credits and 2 energy. Its energy is maxed, and then its credits move up to here. Okay, so now for my final action. Actually, because I did a collect. So for my final action, I'm going to move, either way I kind of put myself in risk, but I'm going to move down and make another collect. So again, 3 and 3 for me. And then for red, Orange is going to want to do a forward and collect, so he'll come forward and collect. And for that, it's going to be 2 energy, 3 energy, and 3 credits. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. 3 and 3. Moving both of those up to 8. And then I think I skipped Orange, so I'm going to give him another action. And so Orange is going to make a purchase. So for purchase, he wants to move toward the lowest value, which is going to be here. And then he's loaded, so he can buy just whatever's on top, which in this case is the auto turret. So that'll refill. And for the auto turret, he's going to pay 5 energy and add that to his arsenal. I'll throw that right up on top. Okay. And that's the end of that round. So now we're back into a scoring round. The first player token is going to move to me. We'll get these decks shuffled up so they're ready to rock and roll. Okay, so we're all pretty buff, and for the most part, we're all very close in score. We're all within 2 points of each other on the scoreboard. I could definitely use some more weapons, so I'm going to concentrate on that. Plus, I have a ton of resources right now, so it's perfect. Shuffle Orange's cards. And then this is a scoring round, so it would probably be good to... All of their stuff is mainly on the opposite side of the board, but I can probably at least come and hit some of this, at least this one mine that's close to me, take that out. Okay, they're all shuffled up. So I'm starting. So with that in mind, I want to... I'm going to move down and make a purchase. That'll allow me to knock out the mine that's right here. And then I'm going to, on my second one, move up, place my own mine, and then move up again and deploy a turret. And then maybe from the damage I take from that mine, I'll move over and power up, and hopefully I'll still have enough to heal myself. Okay, so let's get started. So I'll move down. I take 2 damage plus 2 damage. So I take 4 damage. Okay, shuffle that into Orange's mines upside down here. And then I'm making a purchase. So I'm going to buy the flamethrower for 4 energy. So I'm down to 4 energy now. And I get to pick up the flamethrower. So I'll throw that up here on top. Okay, refill here. All right, perfect. And now it's Orange's turn, which is a deploy turret. So Orange is going to look for the highest value to the left or the right, which is right here. He's going to move into mine. He's going to move that way. And he's going to deploy a turret. And also, when you deploy a turret, you turn 180 degrees around. So he'll bust this turret, which means he'll take 3 damage, and he'll turn around. And he's going to deploy his own turret for 3 energy, which he just barely has enough. Dang. That would have been cool if he couldn't afford to do that. Okay, so Gray is going to move forward and collect. Easy enough. So that's going to be 3 energy and 1 credit for Gray. So 1 credit, and he's maxed out on energy, so it doesn't matter anyway. Okay, so now I will take my action, which I wanted to move up and deploy a mine. So I'm going to spend 2 credits, and I'm going to drop a 3-point mine in that spot. All right. Now, Orange wants to do a double jump and attack me, which it won't reach me, so that is a wasted action for Orange. Gray wants to also deploy a turret, which means he's going to look for the highest value to his left, which is here, and boom, he's going to move in there and take 7 damage, which is fantastic. So I had knocked him out earlier, so he's at full health, but now taking 7 damage, he's back down to 2 health, but that's also taking a lot of my scoring stuff away from me this round. And then he's going to deploy his own turret, which he can certainly afford. He's got more than enough, and he's going to drop a turret in that spot. Okay, so my next one would be to move up and deploy my own turret. So I'll drop 3 energy, and I'll deploy a turret. Now, Red wants to power up. So Red is going to look for the lowest value to the left or the right, which would be the 2 actually. So he's going to move in here. He's going to blow up this mine, which is going to cause 3 more damage. But then you can't heal when they're in the mech. But as an alternative to healing, they will perform a collect action. So Red will take 2 energy, 3 energy, 4 energy. Wow. And he had none, so it's perfect for him. And then he's going to take 2 credits and max out in credits. Okay, so now Gray, for their third action, is a collect. So they're going to move forward, simple enough, and they're going to collect. So for Gray, that's going to be 3 energy and 3 credits. So max out on both. All right, so Gray's all maxed out there, and then I'm going to take my fourth action, which is to move over and power up, which I don't have a lot of energy left after all that, but I can spend 1 and gain 2 health, so a little bit of a power up, not too bad. Okay, and then Orange's final action of the round is going to be to deploy a mine. So Orange wants to look for a left or right lowest value of a mine, can't find one, so instead he'll move backward, because this is the same, so they normally move forward, but you can't move forward, you move backward, in which case, and they can't drop even though we've got it kind of paired over here, you can't have 2 of the same color in the same spot, so that ends up just being a wasted action for Orange. And then, well, he turned around anyway and moved, but so for Gray, it's also deploy a mine, so he's going to look left or right and for the highest value, so that's going to be this one, so he'll come over here, he'll spend 2 credits and then drop a random mine. Okay, and that's the end of the fourth round, so we are going to score points. So for Red's going to get 3 points for being in the mech still, and then a total of 6 points for the spot for the turret, plus another 3 points for being on that same spot. So it's going to be 9 points for Red from that spot, 3 points from over here for this mine, and 4 points for that turret. So that's a ton of points for Red. Green, or Gray rather, is going to score 6 points, 6 points, 2 points, 2 points, and 2 points, so 6, so 18 total points. So from 18 to 36, wow, actually putting him 1 step ahead of Red. Okay, so, and then for myself, let's take these down. This first player token is going to move over to the Red/Orange player. I've been bouncing back and forth on that, but you know what I mean. But for the points that I score, I'm going to get 2 points here, 6 points here, so 8, and then 1 point here, so 9. I'm kind of falling out of the running here. Definitely going to have to make some changes on what I'm doing here. I got 1 more scoring round. So between that and maybe some fighting, this is going to come down to it. But I'm going to have to figure something out. Okay, so let me pick my actions, and then we'll start. Orange player is going to start us. Which I don't know where he's going to go to begin. I do need some stuff, so I'm going to move down and collect, and then I'm going to move, well, no, I'm going to move up and collect, and then I'm going to move, see, I want that energy, and if I move up and collect, I just get a bunch more credits. Dang, that's fine. And then I'm going to move over and drop a mine, and then I'm going to move over again and collect, and then I'm going to move I want to figure out how I can drop a turret this round. I feel like that's really, really important. Okay, so I'm going to scratch that. I'm going to move down and collect. That'll get me 1. That's not much. And then I'm going to move over and blow up that turret and drop a mine. And then I'm going to move down and collect again. And then I'm going to move over this way. That's a really cheapo turret, but I'm nervous about taking damage from that mine, because if I already take damage from there, I'm not going to have a lot. That mine would have to be like a 1-pointer, otherwise I'd be out. So I'm going to move over and do that. Okay, so there we go. That's tricky. It's coming down to it. I'm losing here, so I had to spend an extra moment there. Okay, so orange is starting us off, and they want to power up, which means from the direction they're facing, they want to move to the lowest valued spot, which both of them are tied, which means they'll just move forward, and then they'll heal. But since they can't heal, they'll collect resources. So for red, they're already maxed on their credits, so I'm not even worried about that. But it's 1, 2, 3, 4 energy that red will be picking up, so almost maxed out on the resources there. Okay, so gray wants to power up as well. So the lowest valued spot again is the same, so they move forward, but instead they'll move backwards, so they'll go here because it's a 2. So that's where they would have looked first, but then they can't move forward, so they move backwards. And then they power up, which is actually really good because they're going to power up. When they power up, they just power up to full. So boom. That was really good for them. Okay, so for me, I'm going to move down and collect. So that'll be 1 energy and 2 credits. Okay, second action for orange. They want to make a purchase. So, they're going to move over to me. Dang it. And the combat starts, so that negates the purchase. They'll gain a VP for starting the fight. And now this is going to, well, they only have the Warhammer and the auto turret. They've not, done a lot of purchasing actually. So this may actually turn out all right for me. Let's see what he hits me with first. The auto turret. Okay, so that's going to do 2 damage to me, bringing me to 5 hit points and giving red 2 points. And then I am going to attack with, I've got some options now. So he hit me with a area attack, so if I have a melee, which I don't, that could have been the counter. So instead, I could either just shoot with my pulse pistol, which would do its counter damage, or I could shoot with the rocket battery and lose some health, but do a lot of damage. I'm going to just start simple. I'm going to start with that pulse pistol. I'm going to do 2 damage. That's going to gain me 2 victory points. Take him down to... Ooh, I may very well jump in the mech here, because this is looking pretty good for me. So he's going to attack with his second weapon, which is just the Warhammer. I just attacked with a range, so he would need to hit me with a area to counter. So he doesn't counter. But he's going to hit me with this Warhammer. That's going to do 1 damage to me. But then the special effect on the Warhammer is that he also gains 1 extra VP. So I'm giving him 2 VP for that. And then I'm attacking back. He's got 3 hit points. I can counter with range, but I don't have it. But that's okay because my rocket battery does 3 damage in its base. And then I take a damage as well. So I'll go down to 3 hit points. I'm going to do 3 damage to him. And so I'll gain 3 points for that. And that'll actually win me the mech suit. So I'm going to get a point for beating him. And then I'm going to get 2 points for jumping in the mech suit. So that was awesome for me. He'll go back into his power armor. So let me just do that. And then he'll go back to his starting spot. And he still gets all his awesome weapons. They'll just move to his shoulder spots. His starting spot is right here. And he'll be facing forward like that. And then I hop out of here. I lose my pulse pistol since the mech can't carry a basic weapon. So instead, I'll be here, but I will retain my rocket battery and my flamethrower. And I'm going to put the flamethrower on the side, actually. There we go. Okay, sweet. And then I'm now in the mech suit, so I'm actually just going to keep it simple enough and just move my health over here. I still know I can kind of track my weapons right here, but I can't use this one. His weapons go back to his pile. Okay. All right. Wow, that was pretty crazy. Okay, so now we are going to the second action for... Gray, which is a double jump and attack, which he can reach me with a double jump and attack. So he's going to hit into me, and that's going to start with a counter damage. So let's see how this goes. So he'll get a victory point for starting the fight, and he has a lot of weapons at his disposal. So let's see what he hits me with. I'm going to shuffle under the table here. So first hits me with the grenade launcher, but it's a counter. So that's going to, and then instead of damaging an enemy, so they don't really make choices on that. He's just going to take the straight damage, which is going to be 2 damage. So it's going to take me down to 9, and he's going to get 2 victory points for that. And then that was an area, so I could counter it with a melee, but I don't have one. So instead, I will just... he's got full hit points, so I'm going to have to retreat from this battle one way or the other. But I'm going to hit him with the... Do I think that he'll use a ranged weapon next? Does he have a ranged weapon to use? Actually, yes. 2 of the 3 options next are ranged. So I'm actually going to hold off on using my rocket battery. I'm going to use my flamethrower, which is kind of weak. I mean, it's good if I'm in a good zone, but I'm not in a good zone. So it's just going to do 1 damage. So I'm going to gain a VP. I'm going to take him down a hit point, and this one's used up. And then he's going to strike at me with... Let me shuffle this so I don't see what it's going to be. I'm hoping it's a ranged attack so that my rocket battery can be a counter attack. Let's see. Ah, dang! He hit me with the melee. So I had 2/3 a chance to get it right, and I didn't. So he hits me with this, which also happens to be the counter. So that was like totally worst case scenario to the weapon that I hit with. So that really sucks. So he does 2 damage to me. So he'll get 2 points. But then the special effect on that is that it exhausts one of my unused weapons. So it just exhausts my rocket battery. So I have to retreat right now instead of at least whacking him for 3 more points, which would have been critical for me. So that was really unfortunate. So I'm going to run this way. And that's the end of the fight. And I gave him his VP for doing that. And then his weapons can just be put back over here in his pile. And then now it's going to be my 3rd action of it. And I'm in ad hoc. So for my 3rd action, I will... I'm kind of somewhat tempted to go back in there and fight, but I don't know. I don't think that that's a really good option. I do have a lot of hit points, but we're actually at close to the same hit points. I need more weapons. Okay, so I'm going to make a purchase. So I'm going to move up, and I'm going to make a purchase. So we're going to go up there, and I'm going to spend a lot of credits on something, but most things I actually can't afford. What the heck? I'm going to buy the crossbolt. So we'll refill that. That's going to cost me 1 energy, which is my last, and 2 credits, and I'm going to pick up the crossbolt. That I will put on top. Okay. So next up, so we got orange for deploying a turret. So for deploying a turret, he wants to look for the highest valued space, which is just happens to be here, and then he's going to spend 1 energy, not much, and drop a turret here. And then we'll go over here. All right, so deploy a mine. So he wants to look for the highest value left or right, which is the same. So otherwise he'll move forward, trip my mine, which is 5 damage to him, taking him down to 3 hit points. And then he drops his own mine, which will do that one, and he'll spend 2 credits for that. Okay, so then for my 4th action, I will... I need stuff, so I'm going to move over and collect. So I'm going to move this way, and I'm going to end up collecting 2 credits and 1 energy. Man, my resource collecting engine is just non-existent. Okay, so last action for orange, which is going to be a jump, but he can't find me, so he doesn't. Last action for gray would be to deploy a turret, so he wants to move to the highest valued spot. Oh, what do you know? So he's going to move over here and deploy a turret. However, It does 3 damage to him. Yes, I get my revenge. It knocks him out. And so if you die or get knocked out, you know, when there's a turret, you actually don't dismantle the turret. So he's going to go back to his starting spot, not place a turret, go back to full health. My turret stands. I gave myself the VP for knocking him out. And that's the end of the 5th round. So now we are into the final round of the game. Gray is in the lead with 42 points. Orange is a close second with 40 points. And I am in 3rd place with 37 points. So it's still really anybody's game. Gray is going to start this round for the final round. And let's see how this all shakes out. Let me just give these guys a shuffle. I'll select my actions and we'll be ready to rock and roll. Okay. But I'm in the mech. And that's awesome. And so I just need to figure out, I should probably just have to sacrifice a bunch of health and just plow through all those turrets right in front of me. Because those are high scoring turrets and I cannot afford to allow them to keep those. So I am going to, but I don't have any resources to plant my own turrets this round, which is really brutal. Really bad. Okay, so I'm going to move down and plant a mine. I can afford that. And then I'm going to move down again and collect. And that should give me enough to move to the right and deploy a 3-point turret. And then move to the right again and make a purchase. I don't know how much money I'll have at that time, but that should land me here. I'll take way more damage than what I'll be able to survive. But it'll get rid of them. It'll lose a lot of points for them. Is it really worth it though? That's hard. That's going to be really hard to say because I'm going to take 6 damage. I'm going to only be at 1 hit point. That's foolish. I'm going to move up. That's tough. That's a tough call. Maybe I just move back. Maybe I just go right back, and because at least I'll be on a 3-point spot. Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. Okay. All right, so let's start it off. So Gray wants to collect. So they're going to move forward and make a collect action. And they're pretty much maxed. They're maxed on their energy, but for credits, he's going to get 1, 2, 3, 4 credits, maxing out on credits now. So they're just maxed on everything over there. Okay, so for me, I'm going to move down. I'm going to take 3 damage, blow this out of the water. And then drop my own mine there for 3, and I'm gonna 3 credits. I'm gonna drop a 4-point mine. Okay, and then orange is going to power up, so they're going to move toward the lowest value or move forward. The lowest values on the left and right are tied, so they're going to move forward. They're going to perform a power up, and they're at full hit points anyway. So instead, they'll just collect. So for that, it's going to be 1 energy, 2 energies, 3 energies, and they're maxed on credits, so they just max out on their energy. Okay. Gray wants to do a double jump to attack. Can't find me. Missed action. I'm going to move down and take 3 more damage. Holy smokes. So I'm at 1 hit point now in the mech suit, but I'm still alive, and I'm doing a collect action. So for me, that's going to be 2 energy and 2 credits. Okay. So that's pretty good. My plan is kind of working out, but we're going to see how this turns because red or orange wants to just move forward and collect. That's very good for me. So they're at max resources, so nothing for that. Okay, so let's see. Gray wants to deploy a mine, so they're going to turn here and drop a 3-point mine. So they're going to spend 3 credits and drop a mine on that spot. This is not so good for me because I chased that direction. So and that was going to be my big deploy turret too. That's really bad. So I move into here and I start a fight. I only have 1 hit point. Shoot. Shoot, shoot, shoot. I really kind of wish... Oh, you know... Oh, dang it. I was going to say I'm playing Kitty and I could use my gyroscope and turn the direction, but I'm in my mech suit. So I can't do that. I could pay to rocket charge, but then I would just land in their stuff and blow that up. I'm just going to stay here and fight. But I do take damage from that mine, which is... That's a bummer. Okay, so I'm going to take my victory point away because I am going to use my rocket charge ability. I have to fight anyway, so I can't jump over them. So I'm just going to take this mine. It's going to do a sufficient amount of damage to me to blow me out of the water. That's going to get green their victory point, and now they're in the mech suit. So this is going to come back to me. I lose my mech suit. And green is going to pick it up, which is also going to give them another 2 victory points. I don't think I'm going to be able to beat them. I think that was like the whole thing. If I had been able to... Oh man, if I had just avoided that fight, that would have made all the difference. That really, really stinks. And I did knock out a 3-point mine of theirs, which is nice, but... They made a lot of that up by just being able to jump right into that mech suit. Okay. So I'm back in mine. I'm going to keep my flamethrower on. I'm going to keep my rocket battery on. I got to put my pulse pistol back on. And I have to retreat. So I'm going to retreat to here. I'm going to be in ad hoc mode. Okay, and then I'm gonna keep that, and I'll go to my full health here. Okay, that was kind of brutal. All right, so now it is Orange's third action. So they want to do a purchase, so they're going to move toward the lowest valued spot. They're both tied, yay, which means they move forward and don't blow up any of my stuff. That's good for me. And then they're gonna make a purchase. So they're going to buy whatever's on top here, which they can afford. So they're going to spend 3. Oh, this one. And then take that out, and that gets added to their arsenal. So, but they're not equipping it because they're already fully equipped. Okay, and then we're going to take the last action for Gray, which is going to be a purchase action. So Gray wants to move toward the lowest valued spot, which, what do you know, is me. So he's going to come into me and start a fight. He'll gain a VP. We'll grab his weapons. He's only got 2 weapons attached now because his basic weapons are no longer being used. So, hey, I'm actually going to come out of this with some extra points. This is probably really good for me. Okay, so he's hitting me with the railgun. That's going to do 3 damage to me. Give him 3 points. And then I can counter with my rocket battery. That'll do 1 damage to me. It'll do 5 damage to him. So he's down at 6. And I get 5 victory points. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Sweet. And then he's going to attack me back with a melee, which does counter my area. So he's going to hit me with for 2 damage, so I'll take 2 damage. He'll gain 2 points. And again, that one exhausts my weapon, so I can't strike back, which is really a shame. So instead I have to retreat. Okay. I'm going to retreat downward to here. But that's his last action. He's done. Gray's done now. All right. And I'm still alive. That's important. Okay. So now it's my final action of the game, in which I'm just going to move over here and deploy a turret for the 3 energy that I got. So all that energy collecting really worked out good for me. And then Orange's last action of the game is to try to find me on a double jump. Can't find me. That's it. The game is over. Now let's see who wins. Okay, let's start with Red, since they have the lowest current points. So he's going to get 2 points for that spot. Flip these over. 2 points for that turret. 4 points for that turret. 3 points for that mine. So tying Gray right now. And then he gets points for his weapons. And he's got some pretty cool weapons. So 1, 2, 5, 9, 11 more points from his weapons. So that was pretty sweet, putting him at a final score of 62. Okay, so now we'll score blue. That's me. I'm going to get 6 points from here, putting me at 9. I'm going to get 6 points from here, putting me at 15. I'm going to get another 3 points for standing there. I'm going to get another 3 points for that mine, putting me at 21. And then I'm going to score for my weapons, which is 1, 3, 7, 10 more points, putting me at a final score of 71, beating red by 9 points. Okay. Now let's see what green can do. So he's going to get 6 points for there, putting him at 17. 2 points and 2 points, so another 4 points, putting him at 21. 1 point for the spot he's in. 3 points for the mech. 1, 2, 3. So he's currently 6 points away from me. Let's score his weapons. 1, 2, 4, 8. Wow. So that's the end of the game. Gray player finishes with 83 points. I finished with 81 points. So I lost the game by 2 points, but I beat orange/red, but that's irrelevant. I still lose. I gotta beat them both to win. Okay, well there you go. Thanks a lot for watching, everybody. Hope you enjoyed. Catch you next time.